unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego Unpacked. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Eddie Hearn shows proof, alleged proof, that he offered Jermall Charlo the Demetrius Andrade fight through email. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, we got to talk about it. But first, sign up for ESPN Plus. John Jones is getting ready to fight. Use that link in the description of all my videos, and it helps the channel. Now, I got to talk about this. There's a video out, link in the description, where Eddie Hearn's being interviewed, and he's like kind of challenging because PBC and Tim Smith said, I don't know who he sent this offer to, right? You know, because Eddie Hearn had some propaganda, and he said that he offered Jermall Charlo life-changing money and never got a reply. So I want to talk about it because there's a segment in the video where they actually kind of zoom in, and he's putting his thumb presumably over the amount of money he offered because it's, you know, he doesn't want the number out there, which is totally understandable. But we got to do the Boxing Ego forensic files. And the thing I noticed on this particular email that was shown, because they showed it on the screen, it says, "Hi Jermall, congrats on the win on Saturday. I would like to make you offer a unification fight with," and it looks like D, so Demetrius Andrade, May 2024 purse, etc. Right? So he has some of it covered. It said fight would be a co-promotion, Matchroom, and Lions only promotion. We have so much to offer in terms of a multi-fight deal, which I'm happy to discuss. And alternatively, we would like and be happy to offer this as a one-fight deal. Look forward to hearing from you soon. Right? So let's break this down. Demetrius Andrade is fighting. Nobody really knows in America who his opponent, Keebler, or Potato Peeler, or whatever is, right? And all of a sudden we keep hearing like these incessant talks, clout chasing from Eddie Hearn to promote this other fight, to get people. That old media trick doesn't work anymore. Like, people, it's the social media, digital mob, like I keep telling you. Like, people are off that. People are off that, you know, hey, hang on and watch this fight that you may not want to even see, nobody requested, and then, you know, with the hopes that the bigger fight that you do want to see will get done. You know, I don't think that's the ticket anymore, right? The other issue is this. I'm looking at this email, and it's from, it looks like it says December 10th, 2019. And he says, congrats on your win on Saturday, right? Jermall fought Dennis Hogan at the Barclays Center, knocked him out, something that a DAZN fighter, Jaime Munguia, was unable to do, nor did Jaime Munguia truly beat Dennis Hogan. So that was on December 7th. So it looks like 3 days after, you know, Jermall Charlo's fight, he sent this email, according to what they showed on screen. Now, the other thing that Eddie Hearn does, that it's like almost spoiled rich kid, Donald Trump-ish behavior, in the sense of, it's like he wants to, you know, when somebody is going against him, he wants to go heads up and play chicken with them. So I'm looking, like, basically he talks too much. He shows too much, and you got to pick your battles. So why are you showing, it's a couple days away from February, right? and you are showing an email from December of last year that you claim you got no response to. So just to prove that, what does that prove? Again, I've been saying this on my channel. Nobody really cares about the back end behind the business stuff. You know, we talk about it loosely on the channel, and I'm sure other people talk about it loosely, but the bottom line is Andrade is fighting Keeler. That's it. It's about what you can execute, what you can accomplish. And I feel like the fact that Eddie Hearn has to do all this is just bad look, because it's clout chasing. You have an email from December 10th. The subject looks like it just says boxing and boxing ego forensic files. I'm going to take y'all on a trip down memory lane. So first of all, Eddie Hearn is quoted when Wilder was trying to fight Joshua and he was smoking him out, and Joshua was undefeated at this time. And they offered some flat fee, which was BS and lowballed to what that fight, you know, the desire of that fight and what that fight could garner. And Wilder's team cleverly responded with a 50 million plus 50% of the back end money from pay-per-view revenue offer to Joshua. This startled Rematch Room, Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, and they were caught with their pants down, so to speak. And they didn't really they didn't think that would be the case. I'm sure they didn't expect this move from Team Wilder to call their bluff and to see how bad they wanted to fight. And then once that was announced to the public, they had to come up with all types of excuses as to why they weren't going to fight in America for $50 million plus 50% of the pay-per-view. And, you know, the brainiacs with Rematch Room concocted the excuses of, oh yeah, we worked so hard to lose money, we want to bring the fight to the UK. But Joshua was willing to come to America for Jermall Miller, who wasn't a champion, who would later fail a drug test. You can see how this starts to unravel. Jermall Miller failed a drug test, and then you end up ultimately fighting in America Andy Ruiz, who was on late terms, 5-6 weeks to prep and prepare, you know, so a half camp from what normally people, you know, some dudes do 8-12 week camps, right? So he had ill time to prepare, still beat Joshua for less money and no pay-per-view. Horrible look for DAZN, you know, career setback from AJ, his perspective. But AJ did reclaim his belts in December. You know, it wasn't a scintillating fight, but he did what he had to do to get his titles back. So you could see how this all fell apart after Wilder smoked him out. But I distinctly remember, and you'll see it on screen, this particular quote from Eddie Hearn. Quote, "With all due respect to Deontay Wilder, who I like a lot, he doesn't have $50 million. All I have right now is an email from a guy from Alabama who is telling me he's going to give us $50 million. Fast forward to the future. Oh, the irony. So first of all, these are little slights and insults where Wilder is being berated. You know, he kept referring to him, you know, almost like that comment that Barry Hearn made about back in the day. It was like the slave trade. That's how I take it. You know, saying like just some guy from Alabama, like he's insignificant, and he's now the face of boxing, one of the biggest names, and about to be in the biggest fight that's scheduled for 2020 already. And Eddie Hearn hating, talking about ticket sales are 60% done, and you know Tyson Fury's gonna pull out of the first fight. He's just been hating. But back to the subject at hand, we got to stay focused, people. Smash the like button. He literally said, all I have right now is an email from a guy from Alabama. So the hypocrisy is out of this world. It's off the charts, people. So Eddie Hearn, again, he talks too much and shows too much. He just showed you an email that the subject says boxing from December 10th, which, just so you know, somebody holding that, you can have a draft. Like it's there. First of all, there's Photoshop, and you can do a draft. So even if it's true or not, I don't really even care. But what I'm saying is, I could show you something on my phone, and it's just writing. It's just writing. You don't know if that's been doctored up or a Photoshop. It wasn't like zoomed in like all the way and all this stuff. But even if it was real, the bottom line is it's ironic and hypocritical that he says we're not taking $50 million to fight plus 50% of the pay-per-view back-end money because he has no proof, and send me proof of funds, and all I have is an email from some guy from Alabama. So he's able to reject offers that are lucrative for his fighter that would have been the direction that most fans wanted to see his fighter go, instead of not going and then losing to Andy Ruiz and then putting on a performance where people are calling him a runner, and then now clout chasing Wilder and incessantly talking about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury's business when they're involved in a signed trilogy, or the option for a trilogy. So what's the difference between him sending an email and then he's already, again, talking too much? He's already informed the public, right, that he didn't get a reply. He's already informed the public that with this whole email business, he said he sent it to Charlo directly. But wait, there's more. See, Siri's listening to the conversation. She know Eddie Hearn is selling wolf tickets. But the other issue is this. But wait, there's more. Eddie Hearn is being quoted as, I reached out to him on Instagram. That's what he said. But this appears to be on Gmail or some type of business account. It looks eerily similar to Gmail. Maybe there's other email services that look the same. But that's what I'm saying. Eddie Hearn is just too much double talk. I thought this was done through, go to Michael Benson Twitter, who quoted it, and then it has the link to where it was quoted and everything. He literally said that he reached out to Jermall Charlo, and it was through Instagram, the Instagram site. That's not Instagram. I have an Instagram. I have 2 of them. Follow me. I just opened up the other one, BOXINGEGO 1. Right. So what is it's just, what type of business is this, bro? So anyway, to me, this is just clout chasing. This is coattailing Jermall Charlo's success, Lions Only success, Jermall Charlo's success, and the brand that they're building. I can't say just built, but just continuing to build, as we speak, because they're both active fighters. And it looks pretty bad, people. You say, oh, I need proof of funds, and all I have is an email. So why should Charlo conduct business with you via email? And you could clear, once again, this is what happens to people. Eddie Hearn, he hasn't learned the American way. This is what happens. The more you talk, the more you incriminate yourself, especially if you have some shifty things going on. But this email, showing it on the screen, this told us too much. It literally says it would be a co-promotional fight between Matchroom and Lions Only Promotion, which is an LLC, right, from Charlo. But just like Mayweather said, Mayweather Promotion, he says, me and Al, we worked together for years. It's the same family. These promoters keep sending offers to the fighter when, if you really and truly want to make the fight, instead of trying to take advantage of a fighter's a fighter. They got to get in shape. They got to get their nutrition right. They got to house other fighters for sparring. They got to cut weight, these types of things. They got to spar, speed bag, heavy bag, train, jump rope, fighter stuff. Why would Eddie Hearn, again, as I mentioned before, why would he even be going through an email? Second of all, I thought it was Instagram. Third of all, why are you going through the fighters? Why would it be a co-promotion between Matchroom Boxing and Lions Only Promotion, and you don't really see any indication of PBC even being announced, and you wonder why you're not getting a reply? I mean, it's just this is funny, and I guess he must. It's like almost like he knows, and he's just doing it for show, so he has something to run to the media with, and I guess make it look like because he can't facilitate these fights that it's Charlo's fault. You know, just the blame game stuff. But I think people are over that. At the end of the day, people want to see great fights. That's it. They don't care about the back end stuff. You know, ultimately, do you care how much Canelo's getting per fight? Like when he was making, let's say, $22 million a fight versus $36.5 million, or do you care more about who he's fighting? Because when Canelo Alvarez was fighting for $22 million, for let's say, for example, there were better fights. If he was fighting Cotto and he only got 22, 25 million, great money, and it was a better fight than Rocky Fielding, where he may have gotten more than that, or if he fights Ryota Murata. So ultimately, I think that's what Eddie Hearn hasn't realized is like you could do all this, and the more you talk, the worse it gets, you know, in a situation like this. So I don't understand the contacting Charlo directly. And it's no wonder people like Tim Smith, who's Al Heyman's right-hand man, and Watson and Al Heyman don't know nothing about this. You're going straight through the fighter. Like Frank Lucas in American Gangster. You went to the poppy seed field. You know, you want to cut out the middleman, so you go straight to Vietnam and try to ship the dope back to America. You know, so you don't have to go and deal with the buyer. You know, but it don't work like that when it comes to people's business. Why would Jermall and Jermall Charlo have Al Heyman as an advisor if they just make all their own decisions? Why would they have people like Ronnie Shields and Derrick James in their corner if they just go through their email, see a deal sounds good, and then, you know, go with that? So to me, this is just a horrible attempt to clout chase and or blame Charlo for the fight not happening. But ultimately, it's a bad look because in America, I can't speak for everywhere, but in America, it's really about what you could produce. You look at Ford Automotive, you look at companies like that. What cars are you coming out with? You know, when's the new F-150 coming out? People don't care about, I tried to make this car, but you know, we couldn't get this gravel guard, or you know, we couldn't get the engine at a quality price, so we can't make it. You know, people, that's not the American way. They don't care about what cars you can't make. They care about what cars you're releasing on the lot. You know, when I just went shopping at Costco yesterday, you know, they have a huge warehouse. I care about what they have in stock. I don't care about, you know, we try to get this great product. We try to get this laundry detergent, but here's proof that we tried to get the laundry detergent, but the buyer raised the price, and, you know, no one cares about that. People just want to see the end result. It's the American way. So, you know, it's really bad and sad to see DAZN and Eddie Hearn clout chasing like this. And this is what they said when Joshua was on top in the heavyweight division. This is what they said Wilder was doing, but he wasn't doing it. He was talking about Joshua to fight. End of story. He wanted the fight. But what Eddie Hearn is doing is like literally clout chasing. It's like these fights aren't anywhere near cooked or done, and he's trying to promote other fights that are much lesser than this fight. And it's like he has to show people, you know, he's so cautious or cognizant of what other people think that he has to show people proof. Like me, alpha male stuff, I'm not gonna show people proof. Like if someone, like, people get on the internet, right, and they say, oh, ego, you broke, you got no money. I'm not gonna show them my YouTube paycheck, my Google paycheck, my brand deal with Disney, you know, just to prove them wrong. I don't have nothing to prove. I'm broke. Fine. You got me, you know. I'm not going to start pulling out and tallying super chats for you. So it's just weird, unprofessional behavior also, you know. And the same could be said for any, like, I guess, like, tycoon or powerful businessman or magnate. I feel if I accuse Warren Buffett of falsifying and not having the money he said, you think he's going to pull out paperwork and prove to me Like, what do you got to prove to? The bottom line is Andre's fighting Keeler. I don't know that many people that are talking about that particular fight. I wish well for Andre. I think he's a terrific fighter, but people want to see the big fights. Charlo actually, from according to my sources, he already has his next date. They just haven't revealed it, and he has his next fight, or is pretty much being sold up from what I heard. People just care about what you can get done. That's it. Simple. And, the hypocrisy with Eddie Hearns and, I just have an email from this guy from Alabama. He doesn't have that money. I mean, just foolish. Like, why would you expect Wilder to pay $50 million? Just listen to what Eddie Hearn says to the consumer. He says Wilder doesn't have that kind of money. So since when are the fighters responsible for coming up with the purses? You get what I'm saying? Like, so the fighters come, like, they go to Bank of America and withdraw money and then give it to their opponent directly. I mean, the only person maybe that did some crazy stuff like that, and I don't even know if they do it, is like a Mayweather. But I mean, who in boxing is the money derived specifically from the fighter? He's like, Wilder doesn't have that type of money. Yeah, but Al Heyman, he might have connects that have that type of money. How did PBC get off the ground? Waddell and Reed and different investors and stuff. I mean, so come on, cut the BS. It's just funny that Eddie Hearn feels the need to try to get the fanboys going almost by this clout chasing, and I think people are catching on to it. Showing proof. I mean, what does that really prove? You could have a Photoshop. I could show you a picture of a girl, a nude picture, and say she sent it to me, but it could be something I just found on Reddit. You get what I'm saying? It could be a bad female, and she has leaked nudes or something. She just sent this picture to me. I mean, who knows? It's a phone, Photoshop. Come on. But even if the offer is real, I'll give him a bit of a doubt. Say he did send something. It don't matter. It's just who conducts business when the person their advisor. Like when you went to fight Andy Ruiz, did you just contact him through email or Instagram? Which one is it? Or did you have to contact his representation to get the fight done? So all these promoters know how to make fights. If they choose not to, elect not to, then run to the public to try to make it an issue. I mean, that's weird. It's like if I'm going to a fight, and if there's a fight I want to cover, I apply for credentials. If I'm going to a Top Rank fight, I don't hit up people that work for Top Rank. I don't DM Bob Arum or, reach out to Christina Poncher's inbox, Instagram. Hey, I need credit. There's a process. Simple. Let me know what you guys think. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego Unpacked. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack.